What's happening, HEXO traders and investors? This is Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. It's Friday, January 27th. Happy Friday. Hope you're well. And in this video, we're going to be discussing the stock HEXO Corp and them winning a class action shareholder lawsuit. This is the third lawsuit they've won in the last couple of years, and we're finally starting to see some positivity and stringing together a few positive news articles versus the opposite. We've been accustomed to bad news after bad press after bad press, and we're finally starting to see things shift the other way. But before we get to it today, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And we'll also take a look at the chart here in just a moment. I'll give my opinion on what to expect in the weeks and months ahead in terms of the HEXO stock price. But in terms of this content today, obviously, this was a news article that came directly from HEXO's website, but I brought up the MJ Biz Daily article. Quebec court dismisses shareholder suit against MJ producer HEXO. And like I said, this is the third lawsuit in as many years that they've won. And we'll discuss those other ones here in just a moment. But this is the dismissal of the securities class action lawsuit that had been pending before the Quebec Superior Court against MJ producer HEXO and the former CEO, which was Sebastien St Louis. And it had to do with primary market and secondary market purchasers of the company's stock that had alleged that HEXO misled investors regarding a wholesale purchase agreement with the province-owned wholesaler SQDC. So the court disagreed with the plaintiff's argument and sided with HEXO, and it delved into the disclosure obligations of HEXO's purchase of competing producer Newstrike on May 24th, 2019. And Sebastien St Louis, the former CEO, was the CEO named in the lawsuit. We're very satisfied with the court's detailed opinion, which dismissed the plaintiff's claims and supports HEXO's position, current CEO Charlie Bowman said in a statement. This favorable ruling is important for our company as we continue to build investor confidence and look to position HEXO for long-term financial success. Keyword, financial and long-term success, right? This is something that he's been saying for a while now, and I really do think that they're on track to turning the ship around, right? I think they could realistically hit positive adjusted EBITDA over the next 1 to 2 quarters. And I think they could be cash flow positive from operations, right? EPS positive, similar to what Organigram just posted in their recent financials over the next 2 to 3 quarters. HEXO said in the news release Friday that the Superior Court in Quebec dismissed the plaintiff's amended motion with the costs in opinion dated January 23, 2023. So as I understand it, they sided with HEXO, and they're also, they said that the plaintiff, so they'll have to pay for HEXO's court costs, essentially, all their legal fees. The plaintiff has the right to appeal, but just going through this a little bit quicker here. The victory in Quebec court comes 2 years after HEXO won complete dismissal of the suit in the United States involving related events, and that was in the Southern District of New York. So that was this article right here. HEXO Corp wins dismissal of U.S. federal shareholder class action, which is very similar, but that was back on March 10, 2021, and this was from today, January 27, 2023. And there was also this article and lawsuit that they won. Canadian MJ firm HEXO claims win in California trademark settlement. So there was an infringement on the HEXO trademark, and they brought a lawsuit against them, and that was in California, and they actually won that as well. So just goes to show you that the amount of the conduct that they operate in, right? HEXO is definitely one of the tier ones, right? They operate at the highest level of professionalism, and they just continue to win court case after court case. And the court rejected allegations that HEXO had engaged in fraudulent or reckless conduct with respect to disclosures. We are gratified by the court's thorough opinion dismissing the plaintiff's claims and empathetically rejecting their arguments that HEXO made any material misstatements, the Quebec company's general counsel Roche Vaillancourt said at the time. This ruling should help reduce the litigation burdens facing our company as we continue to build our global brand. And if we just take a look at the HEXO website and go to the press releases, like I said, we've been used to bad news after bad news article, and now we're finally starting to see it go the other way, right? HEXO launches 5 new MJ strains under market-leading Redecan and Original Stash brands, so getting into the craft space. One of their new strains is between 30 to 36% THC. HEXO Corp announces filing a supplement proxy circular for appointment of auditor. HEXO Corp regains compliance with NASDAQ minimum bid price requirement, and HEXO wins complete dismissal of punitive Quebec shareholder class action. So like I said, this is a great change and change of direction. This is what we want to see. In terms of the HEXO price and the chart, obviously pulling back a little bit today while the rest of the sector was in the green, getting some, I see it all the time, right, on a day-to-day basis. I don't understand why HEXO's down when the rest of the sector is up today. And I've said this from time and time again, that the sector moves together, but not down to the day, the minute, the second, right? So if you're looking at this on a daily basis and you're trying to wonder why, if you're trying to figure out why things are up, why things are down, you're pretty much just going to drive yourself crazy. But if you zoom out, when in doubt, zoom out, and things are basically moving the same, right? It's just we have laggards and we have people like stocks like HEXO that have been running to the upside over the last month. We've seen about almost 100% of gains, right? 96% of upside. So it's not uncommon to see HEXO cool down and then these other names start to run, right? So CGC off the lows on that same time period is only up about 42%, right? So it doesn't have to move down to the day, the second, the minute. We should, though, over the the monthly time frame, we should see things start to move fairly similar, right? HEXO will run, and then we'll start to see profit taking from HEXO, and then that'll move into CGC, or same thing, vice versa, right? CGC will move. Everything doesn't have to move the exact same percentage down to the exact day, right? But in terms of the weekly time frame, we have no weekly consolidation now from the low at 90 cents. So don't be surprised if from current levels we pull back 10, 20, maybe even 30% from current levels. That'll just be healthy, right? We have no weekly trend change yet. So once we do lose the low, the key support going into next week is going to be 148 USD. If we lose 148, we'll start weekly consolidation. We'll look for a higher low compared to 90 cents. And then once we change the trend back to a daily uptrend, that'll indicate that the weekly higher low is set. But we can't be worried about that until weekly consolidation begins, and that will be indicative of us losing 148. Lose 148, we start weekly consolidation. Then we look for a daily uptrend to confirm, to indicate that our higher low is set. And then once we confirm a weekly uptrend, then we zoom out to the monthly, and more than likely going to be next month that we start the monthly bounce, if we do at all, because we'd have to break 263 this month with only 2 trading days left in the month. So I doubt that's going to happen. More than likely going to be next month that we start that monthly bounce. Then we'll look for the monthly uptrend, right? We can't be confident that the bottom is in until we confirm weekly and monthly uptrends. So we still got multiple months of work to do, but we have all-time high record monthly volume on the NASDAQ. So this is great to see. Still got 2 days left in the month as well. So we're really going to set a record here this month, and usually volume precedes price. So we should start to see price come back up, in my opinion. And if we do start to trend back to those EMAs, we have nothing nearby on the monthly EMA till about $7. So the amount of upside with HEXO right now is just absolutely astonishing. If we take a look at the weekly time frame, we are bumping our head though at the 10-week moving average. We failed to close above it at 166, which is a bit of a red flag and a cause for concern. We're extremely bullish on the stochastic, and the MACD is still bullish as well. So next week, I'd like to see us close over that 10-week moving average. We are bumping our head at the 50-day moving average as well, which is at 174. So we failed to close above that as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw weekly consolidation and a pullback to around the 130s, 140s as early as next week on HEXO. In terms of the 50 weekly, we have nothing nearby till 376. So we've got some runway. If we can get over the 10-week moving average and the 50-day moving average, we should easily get back into the mid twos. Maybe even come back up and test that 294 area, which is the 200-day moving average. And we could, over the next couple months, confirm a monthly uptrend, but also we could confirm a golden cross as well. The last time that happened was back in December 2020. We had that massive buy signal where price went post-split to about $40 all the way up to about $150. And then we had a massive sell signal with the death cross, with the 50 coming above the 200, crossing down through it. That's called the death cross. That occurred when the price was at around $55 post-split and then dropped to about 90 cents. Now we're seeing a potential massive buy signal here with another golden cross forming. But again, it's likely going to be a few months before we see that happen. But going to end it there, let me know your thoughts and opinions on them winning the lawsuit. If you tried any of their new strains, let me know as well. Apparently, they've been selling out for very, very quickly in Ontario. I can't wait to get my hands on some here in Alberta. But going to end it there, hope you have a fantastic weekend. It's Rob with Powell Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. Share the video with anybody that might find value, and if you could smash a like, I would appreciate it. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you again on the next video. Take care.